Is that the original Razor Crest?
So this is the original one. This is a piece of John.
Yes,
Knoll,
John's camera rig.
Right, so that's his the Knoll Flex or the Dykstra Flex, the John Knoll Dykstra Flex. Then we did the bigger one, which I think you saw.
Actually, so I believe the paneling right here on the left nacelle is my work.
Is it?
I did the tinfoil application. I spent an afternoon with John Goodson.
I didn't know that.
Helping him.
Oh, we got to put a credit for you on the movie.
In Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu, we see the return of the Razor Crest, the beloved bounty-hunting spaceship dramatically destroyed in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. It's another opportunity for Jon Favreau and his creative collaborators to film this beloved vessel in miniature scale, and a chance for me to walk aboard the fully fleshed out practical set of the Razor Crest flight deck.
This is driving me crazy. Let's move. You're a professional.
Yeah.
Could you straighten that cannon out for
Totally.
me?
There you
Thank
go.
you. All right, thanks. It's driving me nuts.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? You need a little of that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You need a little of that. So we actually have shots where characters are walking right next to it. That's why we made that scale. So you'll see in the opening sequences, that's just a maquette for my office that I put up of the N1, but I figured why not?
That is so pretty.
Here's all the Grogu prams. This is a new one.
I haven't, look at that.
So this one is a gag where, because he doesn't have one, but we wanted to get him into one. So as we're having monsters out in the street, there's a Rhodian mom pushing their child in a pram, and then they run away. She scoops the baby up, runs, leaves this, and then Baby Yoda jumps and hits the button. And this is actually the handle behind, and it's just a click to the front like a dragster.
Yeah.
And he takes off because now he's getting better at things. So he's good with the controls. So he's a good stick and rudder guy. That's the original one over there. That's the one he was discovered in. That's actually an interesting one. I know it's not so flashy down there where it says model shop. That junkyard. So
was that part of a Tippet set?
So this is kind of. We have a model shop here.
Yeah.
Right. And we were in Season 2 trying to play with what to do with the volume. Right. So you could use game engine like Unreal or Helios to build something, and that's how most of it is done. So that you could get parallax. So you have a digital set so that when you move the camera, perspective shifts on the volume wall. That was part of what was innovative about it. But we would build foreground pieces that were analog and real sets. And so you'd have real, then you'd have digital, and then you'd have whatever the psych is, the background, the deep background. And it worked very well, very convincingly, especially if it was a little bit out of focus or we're using anamorphic lenses. Very forgiving. But it was always a little bit like, how could you plus that? And so what we did was we built this miniature set of the junkyard where Bill Burr is working, and we scanned it, and we put the analog scan set into the volume so we could have parallax.
Oh, wow.
So we had a real set, a real miniature that was scanned and scaled up, and then behind that that was the first time we worked with Tippet. He had some sort of a loader walker type thing on the junk planet. Deep in the background. So we got a few seconds of stop motion, which for me was a huge thrill. We did a little bit more of it in Skeleton Crew with the big junk spot, the big like a crab droid that was there. And now for this one, it was like we said from the beginning, because we knew we had a few years. We said, okay, what would it take? You need a long lead. You got to work out the storyboards. You got to figure every shot out.
You have to figure a whole bunch out in advance when you're doing that. You can't improvise.
And it's also Phil Tippet. So you don't want to just say, do this. You say, what do you think? And then he comes up with something. And then he's got a great team there. And they're all the people that are working there because they're fans of everything he's done. And they're working on Mad God for years. And so you're getting a different perspective. But Star Wars always had, my favorite stuff growing up was where George and Phil.
I agree.
All the chessboard, the tauntaun, and and his designs too. People don't realize that he did a lot of the designs as well. So it was always the little bit of, he always pulled George a little more weird.
He did. There was points in Mad God where I was watching it and I was thinking, this is Phil showing all the directors he's worked with what they could have had if they just let him go a little farther. Right?
But like a band or anything, it's always a combo of the personalities that one person leans one way, another person leans another way, and then it's that alchemy. And so what we're trying to do is do our version, but also we're definitely if we're doing Star Wars, it's not our own thing completely. It has to feel, there's a feeling to it. And so it's like playing into a type of food that, if you're making Neapolitan pizza, there's certain things you got to stick with.
Yeah.
There's rules.
Right.
But you also want to be innovative on top of it.
Dude, it's the Razor Crest cockpit.
Here it is.
Do you sit in here at lunchtime?
It's fun. It's a fun thing to have. I mean, the truth is, this could be in storage deep somewhere else. We're not using it right now.
Right.
But it's nice to have for guests. For guests, you want to go inside?
Are you kidding?
Okay.
Of course. How do I get in?
Just go around back
and around through the back. Oh my God! No way, dude.
So this is often up in the air and attached to the cargo area.
Oh right, of course.
Because it all fits together.
Yeah,
and then we have down there, it's covered, but that's the hat that you could climb up the ladder. So the whole set's sort of
it's all configurable for.
together.
Oh, that's amazing. Can I sit?
Please.
Oh.
The buttons are very satisfying to play with, by the way.
Oh, this moves back and forth too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like a big fidget spinner.
Oh, it is a big fidget, and the lights go on when you touch them.
I remember I visited the Millennium Falcon on JJ's set on the first one.
Oh well.
And I got to go in there, and what amazed me is how low tech.
Yeah.
All the pieces were, and they had done their research, and they were like, "No, that's what they used on the original." And George kept upgrading because he could.
Yeah.
But for us, we like it. We like the old janky stuff.
It gives them such great stuff to bounce off of. Do you have? I mean, I would be napping in here every day.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And there's Brendan Wayne, who's in here a lot in the Mando suit.
Yeah.
He has a cadence of all the different buttons, and then he has to talk to when Pedro's in here. They all have to.
Oh, they compare their notes, right? Of course, I do this, and
on the TV show, sometimes we'd have another set going.
Yeah.
Whereas we just need coverage.
Right.
So you'd have somebody who else looks good in the Mando suit. So somebody's in there. It's like the old Boba Fett days.
Right.
And they're in here. You just got to make sure they're doing all the right things. The knob's missing. It's on display.
There we go.
That might have walked, or maybe it did. But that's for hyperspace.
Oh, that's great. Who knew the knob had a 3/8/16 thread?
Oh yeah,
standard thread. So I remember visiting a B-52 bomber and seeing the circular gun turret and looking at that and realizing, oh my God, there's like 80% of Star Wars aesthetic is in this gun turret.
That's hilarious. It's so true. And with the weapons too, especially.
Yeah.
Because that's the one where they need a lot of them and they have a lot of time or a lot of money. So they just pulled a clip out of it, and there it is. It's a Stormtrooper blaster.
It's the most fun about collecting Star Wars weapons because you just buy some old World War II beaters. The more beat up, the better they look like Star Wars pieces.
And that was a big conversation with the prop department at first. It's because they could make anything now with 3D printing.
Right.
It's like, no, let's base it on so it's an aesthetic. It's an approach. It's a disposition, and when every department has it, you get the right people. And same thing with wardrobe.
Yeah.
But you can also create whole cloth as well. But if you want to have people like Doug Chiang, who've worked with, and John Knoll, who worked with George for so long, or Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Because so much of Star Wars is his aesthetic.
Yeah.
And we get to talk to him and show him, but he's not as focused on it as we are. So you get a little here and there of advice.
Is this the one you built for the first show, for the first season?
We redid it for this because it's a different vehicle.
Right.
So this is a perfectly restored one that was part of a collection of a Imperial that they caught and confiscated. So he had, so we went through it and made it like it was a stock restoration.
Yeah.
So if you look, especially in the cargo area and the paint job, you'll see it's different. But it looks like he does the hot rod version, which is like rip everything out to make it lighter. That's George's thing too.
Right.
So much of this is hot rod culture. Make it go faster.
It's that Fresno car culture from American Graffiti.
That's it. So that's also something you want to channel.
Which is awesome that you're here in Thunder Alley. That's
right.
Also, I mean, like I worked for Charlie Bailey, who is a master model maker and supervisor, but also like ran George's pit crew. Right? Like it's all
he was still racing?
Yeah, no, I don't think he was. No, he wasn't racing anymore, but Charlie would tell me about the days that he supported George on the track.
And so even dialogue, because technically it's American Graffiti is not a Star Wars movie, but it kind of is a Star Wars movie.
It's totally a Star Wars movie.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so when he's doing upgrades on this, there's a lot of good dialogue from like pull the baffles out of the exhaust and make this thing. I got a race tonight. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's great.
So you do the Star Wars version of it, but it's very much that. And I realized Star Wars led me to all the things that I dig, whether it's Kurosawa films or hot rod culture or, just all of it. I think I was introduced to Star Wars at the right age. And that's such a gateway to so many other things. And Joseph Campbell and the monomyth, storytelling.
We're talking about American Graffiti. I loved the full confluence of Ron directing Solo, but then you're working with Bryce directing episodes, right?
And I was in Solo as an Ardinian and now a four-armed cook. And now we have an Ardinian in this. That's the one that Marty Scorsese voices, working on a food truck.
How much fun!
So, and Roy Choi helped develop the recipe, who is my partner on Chef. So it all just pours into itself. It's just
that
a cement
emotionality
mixer.
makes it feel like it's family, right? To you, but also that's what communicates out.
Because that's what you realize is that so much. You concentrate so much when you're starting out. I want to be in a movie. I want to see a poster. I want to go to the theater.
Yeah.
And then the more you do it, the more you realize, no, this is the circus. This is the fun part, is making it and the people you get to make it with.
Yeah.
And the movie becomes the way to share it with everybody and the celebration of it. And I'm so looking forward to people seeing this. But this part is the part that's you start to really fall in love with, and everybody working together and coming up with this stuff. And for me, often it's just typing some words on a page. Next thing you know, it goes to Doug, or Dave doodles. Doug paints it, comes back to me. I write some more. Then the costume. Is this what you're thinking? And then it's like, no, but it's great. It's better, And so everybody's bringing something to it. And then you have the backdrop of Star Wars. And it makes me really appreciate George was doing it without anybody knowing what Star Wars was.
That's the thing
that's unbelievable.
So incredible to me. Watching Light and Magic and realizing how early George was selecting folks for compatibility and collaboration and also kindness, I feel like. When I first got to ILM in the late 90s, I was shocked by how open and sharing the sort of intellectual economy of ILM was.
Smart, really smart people too, really sharp.
Yeah.
And innovative, but also play well together. Here's also something for you. You already have a challenge coin, right?
I do.
You do. But you don't have one of these. Nobody does. So we have a deck of cards that are the bounties of the ex-Imperials.
Yes.
And so there's an Adam Savage.
You made one
now.
of me.
Our
I'm a
prop
bounty.
guy. There we go. There he is. All
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know how much you're worth, but there we go.
Oh man, that is priceless.
Sir.
Thank you, brother.
It's always nice to show this to somebody who gets it and knows more than I do about it. So
I've been learning to be so practical all the way since Seth.
yes, that's right. That's what I meant.